You've done mission 1, mission 2, mission 3, 4, 5, and 6. But are you ready for mission 7? Ooh. What's up, everyone? It's your boy Matt Diazable coming at you with a new music review. Thanks for coming on by. Today I'm checking out the latest release from the band Mission 7 called Sacrifice. A little background on M7, short for Mission 7, is that they are a New Mexico hardcore band based out of Roswell, and they've been a band since about 2021, and they play some really heavy hardcore music that is, in their own words, influenced by crime, survival, and drugs. And it's a pretty good summary of what the band's all about. And I discovered this band because, just like me doing all these reviews, bands reach out to me and they wanted me to review their stuff, and M7 was one of those bands that checked me out. So thank you for taking your time to want me to review and check out your stuff. I'm greatly appreciative of it and will never take that for granted. And that's how I discovered this band. So let's get into this review. And with this 4-track EP called Sacrifice, the band leans into a sound that is just covered in rust, concrete, and emotional decay. From the first notes of Out of Pocket, the band is clearly not aiming to be really flashy, technical, or like a super wheedly fast band. Instead, they're cultivating an atmosphere that's really slow building, driven by cymbal swells and distant, distorted riffs that just collapse into breakdowns full of griminess, soaked with bass and just punishing guitar. There's a rawness here, specifically with the vocals here, because they sound very, drenched in anguish and physical heftness to it that just reminds me of a sludgy and early 2010s metalcore. There's a real good rawness with the vocals here. So I want to play a clip of Out of Pocket so you get a sense of the griminess from the band and just the anguish the vocalist is putting into his vocals. Raw. And throughout the EP, the bass becomes the backbone of this band, carrying an impressive amount of weight throughout each track. Whether it's on the dense low end of the song between Progression and Hate, or the twangy, almost tactile presence on Good Suffering, the bass is doing a great job of filling that space and just leading the charge with the band. So I want to play a clip of Good Suffering so you get a sense of that weight that the bass is adding to these songs. I strive for something I can never be, just a waste of good suffering. Clean. Even when the guitars kind of, tread water a little bit, or the drums seem a little bit flattened out, the bass does a really good job of keeping things really grounded and undeniably heavy. There's a clear, thorough line in terms of tone and structure with this band. They're very slow, chugging riffs with some minimal melodicness to them. And they start off with a very, but they do a lot of stop and start pacing with their song structures to build tension. And the vocals, they're very locked in with a single sense of, expression. They don't really stray too far from the path in terms of their style. It's raw, it's heavy, it's visceral, but yeah, it's rarely shifting in terms of like adding different sounds to their songs. They have a very familiar formula they like to do. The consistency is a strength and a limitation for sure, because on one hand, it gives the EP a very cohesive identity. You know where you're getting, and the atmosphere is very immersive. While on the other hand, the EP progresses, especially by the time we reach Waiting to Die, the formula kind of starts to wane a little bit and gets a little bit on the thin side. The riffs, they start to blend together, and that menacing, almost calculated feel kind of feels a little bit repetitive and bland by the time you get to Waiting to Die. And it just feels like a little bit by the numbers metalcore, hardcore, heavy stuff. So I want to play a clip of Waiting to Die so you get a sense of just how, a bit on the familiar side you get with this final track. It does switch up a little bit, but for the most part, you get a lot of familiar chugs on this song. But I will say there are moments on this EP that the band shows some flashes of creative tech. Like on the song Out of Pocket, they have kind of like an industrial edge to them, which I think, you know, they're using a keg at certain parts to hit during the breakdown. It kind of reminds me of Slipknot. So it adds an extra layer of chaos to the song, while some of the tracks later on the EP have a little bit more of a groovy like section in terms of the guitar playing, so it shakes up the monotony a bit. But these moments are very brief, and the EP mostly plays it safe and stays in a very sonic comfort zone. That said, Mission 7 is, you know, I would say they know how to deliver a mood here. The whole release here feels like it was dragged through a very desolate warehouse. It's ugly, it's cold, it's thick with atmosphere in the best possible way. For fans of like the grimiest like parts of metalcore and hardcore, Sacrifice, this EP from Mission 7, will hit a satisfying nerve for you. It's less about innovation and more about execution. And I gotta say, the band, they execute their vision pretty well with a lot of clarity and conviction. Sacrifice doesn't push the boundaries, but it knows exactly what it wants to be, and that is heavy, bleak, and bass driven. While its sonic palette is a little bit on the limited side, it delivers a very raw intensity and focused atmosphere. And I would say, you know, Mission 7, they've laid down a very strong foundation with this EP and their sound. And I'd say if they can expand their sound to be a little bit more dynamic and shake up their formula a little bit, I think they've got some serious potential here to really expand and grow as a band. And so far, I would say this latest EP from Mission 7, Sacrifice, I would give it a good to okay 6.5 out of 10. Links down below. Tell me what you think. Tell me some New Mexico bands I should check out or artists. Always open to recommendations. And like always, I will see you in the pit.